no shame, no dishonor our family hasn't endured. Have you heard of the new executive order by the state? Is there no end to the suffering of our family?
I've heard nothing, Antigone, since we were told of the death of our two brothers and how the arcade army, the enemy of our state, is gone. What else can I hear that will bring my heart more pain?
This is why I called you. I wanted to speak to you here, beyond the courtyard gate, so that we could talk privately.
What is it, Antigone? You look so pale.
Have you heard of the new executive order by the state granting burial to only one of our brothers?
I have heard.
So you know that our brother Edwin has been rightfully and honorably given burial and tribute?
Yes.
And our brother Polonices will be left without a burial?
Yes, I know.
No one may weep for him. No one may bury him. He must be left as a welcome meal for the vultures?
I've heard.
Now, this is the executive order by Governor Creon is for you and me. Governor Creon will be coming directly to tell us anyone who disobeys these orders will be punished with death. Now it's Megan. You and I are sisters, and both our brothers are dead. Show me if you were ashamed of the family that gave you birth.
There's nothing I can do.
Will you work with me to do things?
To do what?
Help me to bury the body of our brother Polonices.
You intend to bury him, though our people forbid it?
The state forbids it. He is my brother and yours. I will not betray him.
This is mad. Governor Creon has spoken against it.
He cannot keep me away. I have a duty to my family.
Have you thought, Antigone, of how our father was shamed? Have you thought of how he was hated and destroyed?
Yes, many times.
Our father convicted himself. With his own two hands, he pierced his eyes. And his mother, whom he married, took her life with the length of a rope. And our two beloved brothers have murdered each other in combat.
Our family has seen more pain than many others on the floor.
We are all that's left. And we will be executed if we defy the orders of our governor. Remember, Antigone, we are just women. We cannot defy the orders of men. The men are stronger, and we cannot disobey their wishes.
Even if their orders are unjust,
All I can do is ask God for forgiveness. We mustn't obey those in charge of our state.
I will not try to persuade you anymore. Even if you wanted to help me, I would not allow you. I will bury our brother alone. Maybe, as I dig his grave, I will perish and die beside him, both of us lying in the grave. To do anything less would dishonor our brother and our God.
I do not dishonor God or my brother. I have no more strength, Antigone. I do not have the spirit to act against the state.
So you say, but I'm still alone.
You're such an unhappy woman. I do fear for you.
Feel no remorse for me. Follow your own fate.
If you must do this, then do not tell anyone. I will keep it a secret.
No, you will broadcast it. If you keep it a secret, I will detest you more.
You have a passion for these things I do not understand.
I only please those I must and no one else.
Your desires are impossible.
Perhaps. But I must try. I can stop only when strength fails.
But to do this, to begin this hopeless task, is so foolish.
Shut your mouth! You betray my heart and the heart of my dead brother. Leave me to my terrible thoughts. I will suffer nothing as terrible as a dishonorable death.
Then do what your heart must. But remember, those who love you will always love you.
The warm rays of the sun shine down upon the gates of heaven and reveal the Argive warrior, Polonices. He is laying in the fields in full armor. He came here to attack our state with vengeance, hurl torches at our towers and bar our soldiers. Then he met his brother Edicles in battle. Both brothers lowered their spears and charged at the same time. Although they fought on opposite sides of the war, they shared the same blood and the same fate, death. But now, here comes the leader of this land, Governor Creon. He is recently bestowed leader of the state. He has called us here today to give a special message to the people.
Citizens of our great state, God has shook our land with storm and war, but we are secure once more as a united people. I have asked you to come here today because you've always been a friend to the leaders of this state. Even after the tragedy of Oedipus, the death of his sons, you were true to the people. Now that the descendants of Oedipus are dead, I rightfully assume the power and leadership of this state. I've made an executive order concerning the sons of Oedipus. Edicles was a brave warrior, who fought for his people and died righteously. For him I've ordered he be covered and given all rights entitled to a hero of war. But as for his brother, Polynices, who returned from exile to destroy our people and our land, as for him, I've ordered there be no burial or lamentation. His body be left unburied for people to see his body rot and be eaten. This is my judgment, for I shall never honor the shameful, nor place them before those who are just. However, do give your mercy to the family of Oedipus, as they have suffered much.
This is your will, then, Governor Creon, to deal with two brothers, one a friend and one enemy of the state? Your will is law for all.
You will then be observers of my laws.
We really shouldn't get involved.
There are plenty of others to watch the rotting corpse.
What will we do then?
I'll tell you, do not give a voice to those who would disobey. Do not seek out those who would go against the state.
Only a fool looking for death would do that.
Yes, death will be the reward for anyone who chooses to violate my law and follow their own heart.
Governor, will not bore you with the details of how I ran all this way. First, I asked myself, why do you go to Governor Creon when you know that he'll punish you? So I stopped. But then I thought to myself, why have you stopped, you crazy fool? Before Governor Creon learned that you have stopped, oh, then you'll surely suffer. So I decided to go. But then when I went to go, I was gripped with this awful fear that you would learn how I had stopped. But then I finally decided that it was good that I come here, so I came.
What was it that made you lose your courage?
Well, since I didn't do the deed, nor did I see who did the deed, I should be punished for it.
You're doing a good job of not telling me anything. You will know yourself. Speak.
I'm just a little too afraid to speak at the moment.
Deliver your message and go.
Okay, I'll tell you. Just now, corpse Polynices was covered in vervet.
What do you say? What man would risk disobeying my law?
I did not see any. There were no marks from axe, no soil disturbed. The earth was hard and dry, and yet there were no tracks of the wheels of a cart or footprints to or from the body. When the bodyguard showed us this, we stood there in disbelief because we could not see the body. And there were no marks of a wild animal either. But then, all the guards started turning on one another, accusing each other of doing the crime. Someone had done this. But it was clear that, it wasn't one of the guards. Every guard claimed that, they would hold a hot iron in their hands and walk through fire or take an oath before God to swear that they didn't do the deed. So, we decided to search for the culprit. Well, after a long and extensive search, we thought it might be important to bring this information to you. So, drew straws and, I lost. So, I'm here.
Governor, perhaps for the investigation, will lead the miraculous work of God.
Shut your mouth. Don't make me angry. You've time and time again proven how stupid and useless you are. I cannot take your talk of God. Do you think God would care about this corpse? This corpse was part of the army that came to our land to set fire to our grand churches, steal our offerings and our land. Do you think God would honor this kind of evil? There's no way. Perhaps someone who's hired to do the work. But he is the root of all evil. There's a part of families, Drives men from their homes, teaches honest people to practice dishonest deeds. Yet everyone, every man, every woman, every child finally do what's right. God is my witness, you listen carefully. If you do not find out who buried this body and tell me, God help you, not even hell will be good enough for you. First, I'll string you alive until you're begging for forgiveness. Then everyone will see that such dishonorable behavior will be punished severely.
Can I speak for a man turn and go?
Have you not seen how much words pain me?
Where is this wound? In your ears? Or in your soul? Only saying that the person who covered the body sold your head and your heart. I only sold your ears.
You raised him out endlessly.
Even so, I can't do the deed.
Did you sold your soul for the fallen done?
You must be so full of fear to make such accusations that everybody knows are clearly false.
Oh, what smart opinions you have! If you do not tell me you buried this body, you'll be screaming about how only cowards are.
Certainly hope that the criminal was caught who did this. Only fate will show that fate is actually caught. I only know that I won't be coming back here again, I'll tell you that much. God, please keep me safe and in your good graces.
There is really nothing stranger than the actions of man. How people toil and wrestle just with the simple art of living. How all people are in their day-to-day lives. Each day is a struggle to get ahead or to stay ahead. With those who choose to fulfill their duty to God and country, be held up and esteemed, be saved the tortures of hell. Now we turn to the woman being let in. Antigone, the daughter of our tragic governor Edwards. Could it be she was caught disobeying the governor's laws?
Here is the one. We have found the one who did the deed. Captured her alive. She was trying to bury him. Where's Governor Creon?
Governor Creon is coming from his residence to look into this matter.
What is this all about? Well, why have you called me here?
Governor, we said that people should never say that we will never do something that we never know that we might need to do. Yes, I have come here leading this woman that we have captured bearing Polynices. Once we saw her, we did not wait. We seized the opportunity and we arrested her.
This woman, how and where was she attained?
She was caught in the fields trying to bury Polynices.
Do I hear you correctly?
She was caught giving forbidden burial rites to the corpse.
Antigone?
This is what happened. When I returned, we dusted all the dust off the body to completely expose it to the elements. Then we sat upon a hill to avoid the stench. Sometimes I had to beat and yell at my men to keep them awake. Then once the sun hit its new point in the sky, this terrible dust storm came upon us. When we could finally open our eyes, we saw this woman. She was wailing loudly as if she had just seen the death of one of her own. Then she grabbed some dry dust into her hands and raised a well-crafted bronze bottle to the sky to honor the corpse. Well, once we saw her, we ran after her. But she didn't even run. She didn't even seem surprised. So then we accused her of breaking the governor's law. And she didn't deny it. I thought to myself, this is great. But then I thought to myself, although bringing Antigone justice, I'm still bringing more hurt and pain to her family. But I don't really care, as long as it's not one of my own. Yeah.
Well, I do these things that she's described.
I did them. I do not deny it.
As for you, I'll not hold you responsible for allowing this to happen. Here you go. Now tell me if you knew the executive order I, the governor, made in this case.
Of course I knew. It was very clear.
And even then, you dared to violate my laws?
It was not God that set forth the law, nor did my own heart set this law for me. I did not think that your executive order had so much strength that you, a mortal, could outrun the unwritten, unchanging laws of God for these things. I did not seek to be punished by God, for I knew even before your executive order that I would die. I would rather die than to live with so many powers. There is no me. This is my destiny. For if I had left the body of my own brother, my own other son, uncovered, I would have to live a lifetime of grief. But now, I stand ready to die, but free of grief. And if you think I buried my brother out of ignorance, then you, my governor, are the stupid one.
It is obvious this is a savage child of a savage father. Suffering does not render.
Everyone knows that those who are too stubborn will someday fall. It's the strongest metals made hard by fire that suddenly shatter. She's well known for insolence, going beyond the governor's rules. Even though she's the daughter of my sister, Antigone, and his lady will not escape their fate. Yes, I indeed accuse her sister of planning for this burial as well. Summon his meaning now, for I just saw her running about frantically. Many times the thoughts of malice become real. They forward.
What more than my execution do you want?
Nothing more. When I have that, I'll be finished.
Then what is the delay? Your constant talking does not help me. For what better fame than to die for the honor of burying my own brother? These people would tell you, but a governor with your wealth and your power speaks as he desires, but does not seem to listen.
You sees it that way.
No, these people see it, but your power keeps them silent.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You're alone here. No one is on your side.
There is no shame in honoring the wishes of my family.
Yet was it not your brother Anticles who was killed by the enemy? Killed by the one you wish to bury?
Both were my brothers, born of my mother and of my father.
How then can you show one respect without dishonoring the other?
Anticles would not see it that way.
You will when your word of respect is his dishonor!
It was not the enemy, but a brother who died.
He died trying to wound this great state, which the other brother protected.
But God commands it.
What the good people get is not the same as what is given to the evil.
Who's to say what is fair to those in heaven?
Even in death, it is one friend.
I came not to return hate, but love.
And when you go into the earth, love them. I, while living, will not be commanded by a woman.
His meeting is approaching. She's crying for the love of her sister. Her tender face is wet with the tears she has cried for the tragic events of her family.
You, who I shared my home, who I fed and gave shelter, who betrayed my office and my authority. Tell me, Antigone, did you share this burial, or did you not know?
I did the deed.
This is not fair. You did not want me to do the deed, nor did you share in the deed.
Curses on you. I would be ashamed if I didn't go with you down the road of misfortune.
Stop this!
Sister, do not dishonor me. But let me die with you so purify our brother's death.
My death is not for sharing. Do not claim responsibility for something you did not do.
But how would I live without you?
Ask the dear Governor Creon.
Why hurt me when it doesn't do you any good?
Save yourself. I will not blame you for escaping.
This hurts me so.
Choose to live this evening. I won't blame you for escaping.
I have spoken. Some may see your intentions as good.
I do not.
Then why now do we share blame?
Choose life is made. My mind was made up long ago.
It's clear that one of these children has never heard the voice of reason. Now the other is deaf to it.
So it is, sir. The insanity of our misfortune has made us this way.
You lost your senses when you aided this dishonorable enemy of our state.
But how would I live without her?
Do not talk of Antigone as if she is nothing.
So you would slay Antigone, the woman who is engaged to your son?
Plenty of other lands from the plenteous plowing.
But they were made by God for one another.
I would detest my son having such a dishonorable life.
Dear Haman, your father dishonors you.
You annoy me, you and your talk of this marriage!
So you would deprive your son, the woman who is engaged to him, you would kill her?
It will be God who relieves me of this wedding when she dies. No more delays! bravest soul will try to escape with this death.
God favors those who see no evil. A family shaken by God. Generation after generation, this family of Oedipus has suffered under the wrath of God. The light that is cast upon the last root of the family of Oedipus has become dimmed. Fate is handed down to those who lack understanding and make foolish judgments. God, what human can disobey your constant strength? You, who are the creator of the heaven and the earth, the birds and the trees. Now, as in the past, this one custom remains. There is no success without hardship, and so many mortals are tricked and deprived of the right judgment by the lustful desires. But here's Haman, last and youngest of Creon's sons. Is he in grief at the fate of his young fiancée, Antigone?
My son, have you heard the news? No. You heard of the executive order which brings to an end your promised bride? Father? Come here in anger? To rage at me for what I've done?
You're my father, and you've been my steadfast stock for all these years. For me, nobody is more important than the leadership you give the state.
Yes, my son. I'm going to stand behind your father's opinion. This is why man prays for his children to hear and obey in his home. If my children treat my enemies as garbage, I'll treasure my friends. How I always do to me. Parents who raise unsuccessful children are just raising suffering for themselves. Do not, my son, give up on finding a suitable bride. You will find one someday. Take this time to forget it. Clean her from your mind. Let her marry someone from hell. Since of all the people in this state, she alone is the one I caught disobeying my orders. Yes, the greater number always benefit from obeying the law. Therefore, we must defend our government. Never let a woman become us.
Unless my years of experience have tricked me, what you have said sounds very wise indeed.
Father, it is God that gave us human reasons and all our possessions. It is the greatest. And I could not argue with what you speak. But I often watch and hear what people say and blame you for it. In your presence, your eyes are the common person to say only what you want to hear. Do you see the trees that battle the winds of winter? See how the branches that don't move will break and fall, and the ones that move are kept safe? Please, Father, let your anger go and try to listen.
Governor, this is a reasonable request, and as he is the son of a great leader, there must be some truth to what he says.
You want me, in all my years of wisdom and experience, to listen to a child? It is only fair. You couldn't listen to a child so full of disobedience.
I would never request anyone to respect what is evil.
Seems Antigone is suffering from that very sickness.
The whole state of things would disagree with you.
Are the people of the state to tell me what to do then?
Listen to yourself. You talk like the child now.
Am I to rule as I see fit or as others do?
But it's not a state if it's owned by decisions of one man.
It is tradition for a family to have a master.
Yeah, you'd make a good ruler in the state of one.
So you're fighting. Fighting for the woman.
Yeah, I'm fighting for you. You're not the woman, are you?
Totally shameful. To argue and humiliate your father like this.
Not when I see you ignoring your responsibilities.
Am I not to take the authority of my office seriously?
You do not respect it when you trample on the offerings that are due to God.
You ruined your good name by defending her.
Yeah, you'll never find me ashamed of my actions or my words. You taught me better than that.
All your words are for that woman!
And for you, and for me, and God above.
About you, if she lives, you will never marry her.
Then if she dies, die and destroy another.
Are you threatening me?
Is it a threat to speak against such groundless judgments?
Suffering will teach you poor judgment.
If you weren't my father, I'd say you have no ability to judge anything.
You are a slave to that woman.
Yeah, you love to talk, but not listen very well.
Is that so? Suffering will teach you the error of your ways. God knows you'll soon suffer for disparaging me this way. Bring that hated thing here so she can die beside her beloved bridegroom before his eyes.
No, don't think I will let you kill her, or that you will ever see my face again.
Governor, he is gone. A young man feeling hurt will only be more committed to his beliefs.
Then let him experience more than most men. Doesn't matter. 2 girls will not escape the fate.
So is your intention to kill both of them?
I'll heed your advice. I won't kill the one whose hands are clean.
What fate do you have planned for the other?
She'll be taken into the country and concealed in a tomb. There she'll be fed and given water. She can save herself by giving reverence to God. That way she'll learn to toil and fate.
Love roams over sea and land to the far reaches of the Father's land. Neither God nor person can escape love. Those who are loved and are fair become unfair and are disgraced as love conquers their sense of reason. Love now troubles this family. Passion has won over the mind of its bride-to-be. But now as I see the sight, I am moved emotionally as I see Antigone, who is about to pass over to the other side.
Do you see me as I go forth to my death? I will no longer see you. For God, who will silence us all in the end, leads me to heaven. There will be no wedding songs for me.
With honor and praise, she heads towards her grave. Antigone will not die of old age, nor of terminal disease. She heads towards her fate, alone.
There is a story of a man whose lover fell to her death. No matter how his friends or family pleaded with him to leave the scene of her death, he stayed. He lay there at the edge of the cliff crying until his lover was brought to him. I hope that God will take me in the same way.
Yes, but the man which you speak of has committed no crime against his state.
You are my people, the rich, the poor, the healthy, the sick. You bear witness as to why and how I go to my death. Let there be no lamentations for my family placed in that fresh grave.
She approached the limit of boldness, but at the foot of her judgment, she stumbled. Could this be the continued retribution for the actions of her father?
You touch on what hurts me most. I have often grieved for my father and the destiny of our family. The curse of my mother's bed where she lay with her own child. From this curse I came to be, and return unwed to be with them.
It is noble to honor them, yes, but the government will not allow anyone to overstep his or her authority. Her obstinate behavior is her ruin.
I am to suffer without friends, without crying, without wedding songs. And so it is decreed that I will no longer see the sacred sun. No one in my family will lament my death.
If it was of any use to sing and wail before a person's death, the racket would never stop. Take them away. Our work is done here. She'll be deprived of her right to live on this earth.
My bridal chamber is an empty tomb, a chamber always to guard me, wherein I will pass to the next life. I am in line to go to the next life. But I hope that you will smile upon me, father, mother, brother, for when death came to each of you, I moistened and dressed you, and poured libations over your grave. For such was the custom wherewith I honored you. But Governor Creon thinks it was wrong. So now, by his hands, I am led to death. I ask you, what divine decree have I transgressed? Yet, if these things that I have done are fair to God, then I will be in God's good graces. But if it is the others who are mistaken, let them experience in revenge no greater trespasses than those trespasses against me.
The same strong spirit
We've seen the guard hold this rule.
Yes, if your guards will pay for not carrying out their orders with speed.
Then death must come.
You don't think I'll follow through on my orders?
Dear elders of the state, my only God, look and see and hear this. Your solitary child, your noble family, about to be taken to death for honor. I ask, what kind of leader would allow this?
Even before, for Antigone, many challenged the force of destiny. Destiny cannot be escaped by struggle, by wealth, by walls of stone, by travelling to the far ends of the earth.
Great people of the Theban state, I come here with the help of a guide. Her steps are my steps, for the guide sees for us both, for the blind need be guided along their path.
Greatly esteemed Tiresias, what brings you here?
I will tell you shortly, but first, answer a question for me. Do oracles persuade you?
I've never dismissed their judgment in the past.
Have you been able to carefully lead your state and your family?
I can't testify to how I've benefited from your divine counsel.
You should know then, fate is ready to cut you down.
What?
Fate,
Tremble.
learn by hearing my words. A little while earlier, I heard an unfamiliar sound, the cries of birds, a terrible feverish screeching, and since they were tearing at each other with their claws, I went straight to my place of worship and began to pray. But the prayer I was making didn't seem to work. It seemed that God did not accept my prayer. Then it became clear. The birds I had heard were in a great frenzy, tearing at the body of the ill-fated son of Oedipus. Birds eating at the blood-soaked remains of a warrior are a dangerous sign from above. Understand this, my son. There is one thing that all people have in common. Everyone makes mistakes. It happens. But if a person can learn from their error of their ways, then something good can come of it. But stubbornness and stupidity will bring scolding. Always give rights to the dead. Never goad those who have fallen. Is it brave to punish someone who is already dead? I have spoken carefully and I have judged this carefully.
All of you really fired me as a target, even though I am the one who pays for your divine guidance. You may continue to draw salary from me, but the body will not be concealed in a grave. I don't care if the birds of God tear it for food and carry it away to his throne. I will not submit to the body being buried. The cleverest of people are Tiresias who dishonored in line for money.
Then tell me this. Why is sage advice the greatest of any person's possessions?
If your lack of judgment is to great trouble.
Your behavior is full of that.
Even great prophets can be misguided by their love of money, Tiresias.
And governors can be misguided by their shameless love of gain.
You forgot who you're speaking to?
I know with whom I speak. You saved this city because of the advice I gave you.
You are skilled in predicting the future, but you also love to destroy.
Don't make me say what is hidden in my heart.
Say it! But don't just say it for your own gain.
Know this then. You will not see many more sunrises before you see the death of a child born into you, in exchange for the child you have cast down. This fate awaits you because you dishonorably left a child to die in a tomb, and you held a corpse without funeral rites. For this outrage will be your misfortune, and all the people of the land will see how hatred turns into chaos. Since you directed your anger on me, I will direct my anger on you in a way that you possibly cannot escape. Take me away now, and let him spread his anger on others and think carefully and quietly about his judgment.
Now the prophet Tiresias is leaving. She is well known by many to be an incredibly accurate psychic. As far as our records indicate, she's never been wrong.
Yes, she has never been wrong.
It is our recommendation that you accept the honest services of this advisor.
What should I do? Tell me and I'll consider it. So, free Antigone through herself, give her brother, probably her. What's your advice? Think I should give up?
And quickly, for God is swift in these matters.
I struggle giving up what I know to be true in my heart, but I can't go against the wishes of fate, can I?
Go see your orders are undone. It's not something to leave you alone.
Yes, I will go down and undo these orders that I've made. Since I'm the one who ordered her bound, I'll be the one to set her free. Of course, I am nervous about abandoning our old traditions.
Now it's up to the supreme leader, the one of many names.
You over there. I'm not one to stand in judgment of what people do. They often benefit the fortunate and Thomas the lucky. Governor Green was once praised for saving the state from the God of love. But now all that is gone. For people betray that which is most dear to them, and they are better off dead. One day a vast riches made up the king, but these things provide the pleasure that I do not wish on any man.
What news are you bringing to the leaders here?
That
What? Who's the killer? Who's thinking about it?
Haman, the son of Governor Green, has died, killed by a member of his family.
Was it by his father's name?
God's own hand to himself, and by his father.
Oh, how perfect is the prophet's skill. Now we see a sorrowful Eurydice, Governor Creon's wife. Is it fate that called her from her home, or had she heard about her child?
I was going to pray when I entered the cathedral. Threw open the door, then I heard a voice calling out for my family. I ran into the servants, unable to move. I came as quickly as I could to make sure everyone was safe. So, messenger, tell again what news have you brought?
My lady, I will tell you. I'll not lie to you and tell you straightforward. I took your husband to the rotting body of Polynesius, who began to wash and prepare his body for burial. Then into the cabin where Antigone was coming, heard loud wailing coming from inside. Governor Crane said, I'm a fool. Am I to start my own suffering? Are those the cries of my son I hear? He sent his servants inside where he found Antigone hanging by neck and hanging, hugging around the waist and crying for his bride. Governor Crane cried out to his son, but Haman gave no reply. He stared at Governor Crane with wild eyes and spit in his face and drew his weapon. The governor quickly ran off. Haman took his sword and laid it on the ground. He drove the point to his belly. He died next to his bride. Both were dead, but together forever.
This is so strange. The Antigone dies without speaking of honor or dishonor?
I'm also amazed at these events, but I'm hopeful. Governor Crane's wife has chosen to be dignified in public and not cry. Rather, she will cry for her dead child in private as it should be.
I do not know about that. All I hear from the mansion is silence, no sounds of crying.
I'll go to the house and investigate. The sounds could be more than something else.
Here comes our governor.
Why was it that my poor judgment condemned these children to death? It wasn't your fault, my son. It was never my plan to hurt you.
So now the governor begins to mourn. It was too late for him to know the meanings of these customs.
This is a dreadful lesson. It was God who placed the weight of authority on my shoulders. Now it's God who strikes me down with pain and misery.
Governor, you've returned home, but there are others in your house that require your assistance.
What other sorrows could I possibly bear?
Your wife is dead.
My God! Why do you take my wife now? What is the meaning of all this? The held in my arms our child, and now its mother lays dead. I'm all that is left of my family.
She gouged out her eyes before she killed herself. Her last wish was to make the assassin of her child suffer.
Somebody take my weapon and cut me down. Please let my pain and anguish die.
She called to the destroyer of all, and then she killed herself.
This is all my fault. I caused the calamity. Take me away, because I'm nothing now.
There is something to be learned from this.
Let it be known that it was fate that cut me down.
We do not know what the future holds, nor what fate has in store for any of us.
But all that I wish is to die.
Man cannot be delivered from their own misfortunes.
Go away. My child, my wife, it was never my plan to hurt you. There's nothing left for me now. I can't escape my fate any longer.
As the sun sets on thieves, look back at the events of this tragedy and remember that judgment is a greater part of great fortune. We do not know what the future holds, but we must remember that we must remember to respect God and to always be respectful of His wishes. These are the lessons of life learned again and again over the course of a lifetime.